Hey there, brothers and sisters. Vessel of Truth here. Jay from Virginia for the new people. And want to do one final video on the series of equipping the saints. And this is more than just equipping the saints, because this basically bleeds over into your everyday life. From the time that we accept Yeshua, the Son of Yahuah, as our Savior, we are in the process of being transformed more like Him. Therefore, there has to be less of us, i.e. the flesh, and more of Him. That's why we're, supposed to serve Him in spirit and in truth, and to worship Him in spirit and truth. We are to be spiritually minded. But one of the biggest things that is a problem today is people are not ruling themselves. They allow their emotions, they allow their feelings, their whatever to rule them. And anytime you get outside of the Spirit, you are more likely, or I should say most likely, to fulfill the lusts of the flesh. This is a huge area. And I know, I'm going to make some people mad in this, because the truth hurts, but the truth reveals darkness and sin, so it can be changed. And, in today's day and age, we have truly become weak. People will try to sugarcoat something, or actually just lie, i.e. they call it a white lie, so they wouldn't hurt someone's feelings. And it's like, how is that ever a good idea? To lie and put your own salvation in jeopardy and peril, so you don't hurt someone else's feelings. You see it all the time in marriages. You have, the woman is usually looking for compliments or something like that from their husband, and they put this dress on. It's like 4 sizes too small. And then, of course, they go and they ask the husband, does this dress make me look fat? And the husband's on the spot. There's only a few things he can say that would be acceptable. But even in that scenario, we need to speak the truth. And that is what I'm talking about. We have become weak because we cannot accept, criticism, or, anything that would possibly be looked at as to put us down or make us less of a person. But yet, the truth builds you up if you allow it yourself to listen to it. No, honey, the dress don't make you look fat, but you need to buy a dress that fits your size. You're already too heavy for that dress. Any way you go about speaking it will probably hurt feelings. But, you can't put your own salvation and purposely sin because of another person's feelings. Christ didn't do it, nor should we. So basically, this is more than just, an equipping the saints. This is a way of life. And, just want to bring a few scriptures out. I don't want to make this too long because honestly, this should be common sense, but it has been overlooked for a long, long time. And the toll that it's took is a huge one because it's crept over into these four-wall indoctrination centers. Instead of them, speaking the truth, they're sugarcoating it. They're, blowing smoke up your butt so, it tickles your ears. And we should never do that. So let's just go ahead and start in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. It says, there hath no temptation taken you, but such that is common to man. But Yahuah is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that which you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way of escape, that ye may be able to bear it. In other words, no matter what situation comes that you're facing, whatever temptation, whatever it is, that could possibly make you fall from your steadfast stance, the Father has made a way for you to stand against it. And usually it is the Word. There's something in the Word that you can speak to rebuke it or to gain strength from it, to endure whatever it is that you're facing. He didn't just send us out by ourselves. He empowered us by His Spirit and His Word. There's nothing that can defeat us. That's why I said we have to be on the lookout to be deceived, not defeated. But we have to know what the word of truth is. From there, let's go to Galatians chapter 5. This is a biggie. Verse 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. Not only do we walk in the Spirit, but we should be able to draw strength from the Spirit. Scripture says that we can build ourselves up on our most holy faith. I don't care who you are, going back to that situation between a wife and her husband. If you know that you have gained a few pounds and, it's bothering you, instead of trying to put someone on the spot and make them compliment you when you know that the answer is something that you're not wanting to hear. I'm one of people that if you don't want to hear the truth, don't ask me. Because I'm not going to lie. It costs you friends, yes. But, I would rather have people mad at me down here than the Father mad at me on Judgment Day. Which is more important? And to me, my salvation, my walk with the Father is way more important. I do my best to always, conduct myself in a way that, doesn't offend people or whatever. But when you're put on the spot, having to make a choice whether to lie, not to hurt someone's feelings, or standing up for what is right and true, those are the areas that we have to shine. We've got to, stand up for the truth, no matter the consequences. And, it's this sort of stuff that I'm talking about that has made us so weak. People, have bad relationships. And then automatically, the man that had been cheated on by a woman, or the woman that's been cheated on by a man, in their next relationship, automatically, they are making this other totally different person pay for the sins of this other relationship that they were in. Why? Why do you want to torment a totally different person because someone else did you wrong? It's totally ignorant and stupid and self-destructive. And the whole time the enemy is laughing his butt off because you are destroying yourself. Not to mention destroying another person. Because for you to be accusing someone of something that they have no dog in that race, they didn't do any of the stuff that had been done to you, but yet automatically because it had been done to you, you don't trust them. It's wrong. It's sin. And this is a huge prevalent thing. It gets to the point to where people can't even talk because my past automatically makes me feel this way. Get over it. If you're not dealing with the person that did it to you, do not make them subject to what has transpired in your past life. Allow the Father to heal you of it. Cast all your cares upon Him. Come unto me, all ye who are burdened and heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. We have to, unload ourselves. But yet most of the people are walking around so burdened and so heavy laden that, the enemy just has to barely push them and they'll fall over themselves. Because they're still carrying around all the crap that happened to them in the past. And then I'm going to get these emails. Well, you just don't understand what was done to me. It doesn't matter. Yes, I'm sorry that, tragic, abusive things happen to people. Yes, the Father didn't want it to happen neither. But it's your choice. It can be a strength or it can be a weakness that destroys you and makes you miserable for your whole entire life. Choose. The Father wants to empower you and make that part of your testimony. Hey, this is what I went through, but I am here. I lived. I'm stronger. And I can help you. Because you can help others that's been in that situation and give them a helping hand up. But no. The pervasive thing that is going on in today, everywhere, is people are destroying other people along with themselves. And the Father is tired of it. I didn't want to do this video because I know people right now around me, very close, like not too far from where I live and everything that I talk to, that are dealing with this sort of thing. And they're destroying others and they can't be happy in the relationships that they have because they are destroying it. Because they are allowing the poison of the past to destroy any type of fruit in the future. We've got to empty that out. Verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary, the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. Verse 18, but if you be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Done went through that in another video. It doesn't say what most people try to make it say, but it's another video. Verse 19, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things will not inherit the kingdom of Yahuah. Now, this list right here, think about it. Every single one of these has emotions and memories attached to it. You have to break free of all of that garbage. We are to live as a new creature, a new creation, new before the Father. Nothing of our past should be able to anger us or hurt us or have any type of control or power over us. We have to rule ourselves. But most people don't. This is the right way. Verse 22. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Now, that word temperance, depending on your translation, most say self-control. Just like here. Gentleness and self-control. Meekness and self-control. Meekness is self-control. Temperance is self-control. And basically it takes all of the others to have the self-control. That's why it's listed last. It's basically a process that you go. You have your love and your joy and your peace and your long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith, meekness. And having all of those gives you self-control. Because you're able to walk in love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness. It's the power of the Spirit in your life. No longer are you chained to the sin that other people did to you. See what I'm saying? People do not understand that they will account for every time you destroyed or tormented someone because of your past when they had nothing to do with it. Or because they said something that reminded you of something that had happened to you, and automatically you have guilt or some sort of a negative feeling, and you think that they are trying to put upon you. So automatically you just dig into them. See what I'm saying? The enemy has us destroying one another because there's no freedom. Nobody has unloaded. Nobody has boldly went to the throne of grace and just dropped everything. And then thanked him for taking it all and burying it and walking out by yourself. No more load, no more burden. Just you in a newness of the fruit of the Spirit. This is something that we can all do. But for some reason, people like being miserable. Misery loves company. Everybody's heard that saying. But you know what? Misery has no place as a child of Yahuah. And I know people are getting angry and, right now. But, the truth is the truth. Over here, Matthew chapter 5. I didn't plan on reading this one. Verse 14, we can start. It says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works, and glorify your Father which is in heaven." But no. What's going on mostly? Instead of people letting their light shine, they're ripping into people because they're still carrying around their past. They're still on edge because of what's been done to them or what they endured. And, I'm not being mean or making light of anybody's circumstances, but, we're in a fallen world, guys. Horrible things have been going on since the fall of man. And it's not going to get any better. Not until this world is over. That's why the Father sent His Son and made us a way of escape. It's our choice. We can walk around in bondage, or we can let it all go. I mean, I went through this myself. I've had things that went on in my life. And you know what? I'm telling you, let it go. The sooner you do, the better you'll be. It transforms you. Because you no longer have that burden, that weight. You never have that voice in the back of your mind that the enemy puts there. You're no longer offended at stupid stuff. And you're no longer tormenting or destroying other people that had no dog in the race. This is very important in relationships. Brothers and sisters, you cannot have a relationship. I don't care what kind. Friends or marriage or dating or whatever. You'll not have anything like that. Carrying around all the garbage of your past. Or your past experiences. Or your past offenses. It's just not going to happen. And nobody's going to want to even be around you. Please don't take it as me being mean. But, it's time that we clean house. The Father said judgment begins at His house. We are His house. That's why I said we've got to clean ourselves up. Especially if you want to be the Church of Philadelphia. Another biggie. Ephesians chapter 4. Verse 26. "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath." This is very important in relationships. Because how many times has there been married people and they have a big spat and fight, and one sleeps in the bed and the other on the couch, and then by morning, it's just festered that much more. That's sin. Verse 27, never give place to the devil. Never. I'm trying to help you all. I'm trying to equip you with the truth. I'm trying to allow you, to get you to open up to allow the Spirit of Yahuah to heal you. So you'll unload and stop carrying around things that should have been gone a long time ago. James chapter 1. We'll start in 19. Wherefore, my beloved brother, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Yahuah. Again, keep your emotions in check. If you know someone is doing something that reminds you of your past or whatever, rebuke it and bind it, and be more apt to listen. Shut your mouth. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should listen more than we speak. And one thing that people really need to know is life and death is in the power of the tongue. Whatsoever you speak, you animate it with life. So if you talk about, I got the whatever, what is it, cancer, there's of course this mysterious sickness that's going on here that everybody talks about, pancreatitis or a headache or this or that or whatever. You just empowered the spirits that are causing it. What you should do is automatically rebuke the foul spirit of infirmity that's trying to give you a headache or whatever sickness or disease, because all things that are named have to bow at the name of Yeshua. Everything. That's why at the end, every single knee will bow. There is nothing, no one that will not bow. Because the spirits of the enemy are subject to the name of the Son of the living Yahuah, our Elohim, our Adonai, our Father, our Creator, our all in all, our shield, our buckler, the lover of our soul. It's time we get serious. It's time that we shed off this fleshly garbage that should have been gone a long time ago, that's just tormenting us, and start walking as Christ walked. Y'all know I'm going there. My favorite book, 1 John, chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 3 and go to 6. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in them. But whosoever keepeth the word, in him verily is the love of Yahuah perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. He that saith he abideth in him ought himself also to walk even as he walked. Christ is our example. Nowhere in the Word do you ever see where he allowed a past experience corrupt the present that he was in or the future. We do that. And we need to stop. You know, the reason people don't even recognize it anymore is because everybody does it. But just because everybody's going to hell doesn't mean you go too. Wide is the road to destruction. Narrow is the path that leads to life. And few there are that find it. I'm asking you straight out, how many is a few out of the trillions of people that will have lived from the beginning till the end? How many is a few? Just anything more than 2 or 3 is a few, isn't it? Brothers and sisters, this is serious. 100% serious. This is life and death. This is, salvation. Because, it all goes back to the law of Yahuah. If we walk according to the law, we'll not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Because the law is the character and the nature of Yahuah. It's what teaches us to be like him, and to act like him, and to think like him, and to do as he would do. But you got to make up your mind. No more. No more will I allow the enemy to rule me, or to cause me to hurt other people, or to hurt other people that I love. And that's one of the biggest things. People that actually love other people are destroying and hurting them because of the garbage and the cancer crap in their past. Because it still has bad emotions and bad thoughts coming into their mind. The playground of the enemy is the mind. He will always pick at something in your past to screw over your future. Only you can stop it. The Father has given us everything we need to live victoriously. The victory is already ours. We just have to walk it out. But yet, people want the Father to do it for them, and it's just not going to happen. The Father don't want robots. He don't want babies either. There's a time and a place for everything. He expects us to use what he gave us. He gave us all power and authority. We can now go boldly to the throne and make our petitions known. Everything that Christ did shall we do also, because he went to the Father. We are more than a conqueror. Greater is he who is in us than he that is in the world. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It goes on and on and on. What is your excuse other than you just didn't want to deal with it, or you just didn't want to let it go? Well, guess what, Buttercup? Every person that you refuse to forgive is keeping the Father from forgiving you. So, in your state of bitterness and unforgiving of the people that have done whatever they did to you in your past, it's going to cost you your salvation. And for what? They're still ruling your life. The people that hurt you back then, you're going to allow them to keep you from making the kingdom of Yahuah your home because you don't want to forgive them? Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. You can't go forward until you deal with all the stuff back there. Let it go. Forgive them, forget. It doesn't matter anymore. It's done and it's over. You know, the Father will repay on Judgment Day. You know, Scripture tells us, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So if a man is out there sowing all kinds of wickedness and all that, he will either reap it in this life or on Judgment Day. But the punishments of other people, it's none of our business. It's time we stop looking at other people and truly cleanse ourselves. Allow the Spirit of Yahuah to show us what's in here. Let's go to the Old Testament for a minute. We'll wrap this up. Go to Jeremiah 17, I think it is. Jeremiah 17 and verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Yahuah, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Let's go to Proverbs. It's 14, I do believe. Verse 12. Proverbs 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Go to 21. Proverbs 21, verse 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. It's true. One more. Proverbs 28. Go with verse 26. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool. But whosoever walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. Now, what does it mean to walk wisely? Well, there's all kinds of scriptures that I've given you in past videos that shows that the law of Yahuah is the light of our pathway. It is the truth. It's that truth that allows us to have knowledge and understanding. And whenever you have knowledge and understanding, you have wisdom. Just the other day, I was reading John chapter 5. And the Father made these 3 verses jump out at me. John chapter 5, verse 45 through 47. It says, do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuseth you, even Moses, in whom you trust. For he For had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? You know, this says a lot. Moses was the vessel that the Father Yahuah chose to give his law to his people. People get confused because in some places it's called the law of Moses and the others law of Yahuah, law of God. It's one and the same. The law of Moses is the law of God. The law of God is the law of Moses. But it's by that law that we will be judged by. But when we are walking in total obedience, it's the only way you can show that you love the Father, for one. But when you are in obedience, there is no sin. Obedience to the law, the Torah of Yahuah, cancels out all sin because there is no sin. Finish up with my favorite book. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is transgression of the law. Every time you see that word law, it's the word Torah. Brothers and sisters, don't allow your emotions or your mental state at whatever time, or your past, or other people that have done you wrong, to cause you to become bitter, hateful, a person that's lashing out, a victim of their own past circumstances. Ultimately, it is your choice, because you have free will. You can receive the freedom from the Father, or you can continue to walk in the bondage of your past. I dare say if you just think for a minute, you can think of different people that are doing this exact thing, because it's running rampant, brothers and sisters. All the while, the enemy is laughing his butt off, because we, the children of Yahuah, are making his work so easy. All he has to do is remind you of that day so-and-so did this, or that day so-and-so did that, or how this one abused you when you were little and innocent and couldn't do nothing about it. How could they be so mean and cruel? Because we didn't allow the Father to purify us. We allowed the things in our past to remain a weakness. We're ashamed, or afraid someone will find out about it, or we're just holding it all in, and we're just like a caged lion ready to just explode if someone picks at it. And we can look back in our lives and we can see the path that we walked of different people that we have destroyed and hurt along the way because we were damaged ourselves. Brothers and sisters, how do you expect to help anyone if you yourself are damaged? Until you are free, how can you help anyone? Remember the Sermon on the Mount, where Yeshua was talking about the person who would point to another person, showing the beam in their eye, but yet they're ignoring the log in their own eye. That's basically who you are. If you're trying to help other people, but yet you're damaged yourself. What did Christ say? First, clear the log out of your own eye so you can see clearly to help your brother or sister with theirs. You know, it's not hard to just let the Father cleanse you. Get rid of it all, because it doesn't matter. I get accused of being cold because I'm one of them people, if something needs to be said, I'll say it. If, people are, around talking about another person, I'll say, hey, man, did you not know that the Father hates it when other people sow discord amongst the brethren? It's one of the 7 things that he hates. Gossip, or just, ripping someone down, or dirty jokes, or whatever. If you're allowing yourself to be a part of all that stuff, you need to deal with all that stuff before you try to help other people. We are our brother's keeper, but we need to be pure and holy as he is pure and holy. That way we're giving good advice, and we're giving truth and allowing the light of his truth and his love shining out of us to light the way. Allowing others to see, just as it said over here in Matthew chapter 5. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. It's not about you. It's not about me. I sure don't ever want to be well known or any of that. I don't. I just want my brothers and sisters to see the truth and be empowered and be the people that we are called to be. I'm so tired of seeing the enemy beat the brains out of my brothers and sisters, laughing as they destroy themselves because they didn't do what they should have done with dealing with their past, or, keeping their mouth shut, or just walking away, or done covered it. There's no temptation or sin that comes upon you that the Father doesn't make a way of escape. There's no reason we should ever fall. And I know people are going to get mad at that, but go and read my favorite book, 1 John, and you will see from the time that we receive forgiveness and become new through the blood of Yeshua, we no longer have to be subject to sin. We can walk in victory. Why? Because of the Spirit of Yahuah and the blood. But we have to know what sin is. And the only way of knowing what sin is following the law of Yahuah. So as long as you know the law, you know what not to do. It's that easy, brothers and sisters. If the law's passed away, that means you can just live in sin. That means there's no accountability ever. And you know that ain't true. We have got to become the sons and daughters of Yahuah that he called and chose us to be. That peculiar people. Called unto himself. One that doesn't fit in the world. We have nothing to do with the world. We're separate. The things of the world to us is garbage. Has no appeal whatsoever. Because the word tells us the friend of the world is the enemy of Yahuah. And the person who loves the things of the world, the love of the Father is not in them. You know, this is strong word. But it's true. And you will find as you draw closer to the Father, you could give a rip about the things of the world. You know, I don't miss TV. I don't miss movies. I don't miss any of that crap that's out in the world. You know, I'm only functioning in the world for the necessities. That's it. You know, I'm looking for the day of the return of my Savior. And I want to help as many of my brothers and sisters along as possible. And that means equipping them to stand and fight in the fight that we are in. Because it's only going to get more and more raging. And if you're getting your brains beat out right now and the enemy has not even been loosed to this realm yet, don't forget, Satan is still cast out of this realm. He'll be cast in soon. Then you'll be taking the licks from him himself. Gadriel will be cast back here. That happens in Revelation chapter 12. He was cast out at the cross as we read in John. So if you're getting your brains beat out already, it's definitely not going to get any easier whenever the head honcho is cast back in. Allow the Father to heal you of what you've been holding on to. Let go of it. It's just destroying you and destroying people around you. You're good one day and next you're not. You're good one day and then you're not. Just up and down, up and down, up and down. Why? Because the enemy has free reign to you because of your past. You're still holding on to it, so he still legally has the right to torment you. Let go of it. Renounce it and rebuke it. Receive the peace of the Father. His peace goes beyond all understanding. I'll leave it at that, my brothers and sisters. I thank you, each and every one of you, for being a part. I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for your questions and your feedback. If anybody needs to get a hold of me, personally, my email is jtt1777@outlook.com. Feel free to holler at me anytime, and if you want, we can exchange information to where we can text or call. I'll do anything I can for each and every one of you. You're in my prayers always, and I just want to see all of my brothers and sisters walk in victory. I want them to be equipped to help others, to be, the brother's keeper, the watchman on the wall, to start taking back what the enemy stole, standing up for that which is right, letting the light of the truth of Yahuah shine, exposing all the darkness of this world, bringing glory and honor and praise unto the Father always, with every breath that we speak. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, I love you. And I look forward to many, many more videos to come. Going to get into some more deep stuff here soon. So, Yahuah bless you and keep you always.